First off, I want to say, happy retirement for Justin Gaethje. And UFC 317 was a great card. The UFC did something which they don't normally do is win, which after Pantoja and Ilia Topuria won their fight, they brought in the next potential contenders, which was Joshua Van and Paddy Pimblett. And I was especially happy because I know this is the best form of promotion the UFC can do, and hopefully this means the UFC are going to start promoting the right way. And the UFC have fumbled these opportunities in the past. For example, when Max Holloway KO'd Justin Gaethje, Ilia Topuria was in the crowd, but the UFC did not think of bringing Ilia Topuria into the crowd, and that would have hyped the matchup more than it was before. I made a previous YouTube video about all the benefits of bringing fighters into the cage after the fight. And everyone and their pitbull was happy with what happened after Ilia Topuria's fight, because we got to see Paddy Pimblett get in the cage, Ilia Topuria and Paddy Pimblett have a trash-talking moment, which is something we've been starving for in the UFC, two fighters actually trash-talking each other. And as UFC fans, this is what we want. And we are very entertained. But one person wasn't happy. The former UFC promoter, now boxing promoter. And the reason Dana White wasn't happy, because us UFC fans actually got entertainment outside of the fights.
Ilia, after the fight, he called in Paddy Pimblett and brought him into the cage, and they had a face-off. Obviously, they've got a long history together. I know there's a lot of options on the table for Ilia, but when he shows that type of interest in a fight, does that make you want to make it?
Well, I don't know who the hell let him in there. That should have never happened.
Paddy's here in the audience. Let's see if we can get him to come up.
Let's start there. I was already back in my room, or that would have never happened. But
good. Because you're in your room, we actually got millions of views for the UFC. Thank you, Dana, for staying in your room. I think we know which room he was in.
I don't really think about that stuff tonight, other than, obviously the Van fight. But, we'll see. We'll see how this plays out.
Joshua Van, can you give us the story on why you were willing to allow him in the cage? We don't matchmake on Saturday night, right? But it's clear that's the fight. Why did you say, hey, yeah, let's go ahead and do a face-off?
Well, he's the number one contender, and I just...
For example, Brock Lesnar and Daniel Cormier, they never fought, but when they had a scuffle in the cage after Daniel Cormier won, that created 20 million views for the UFC, which I'm sure is beneficial. Nowadays, sport isn't just about the sport itself. It's about being able to create viral moments outside of the competition. Even if Ilia Topuria and Paddy Pimblett never fought each other, that'll create viral moments, which will give the fans content, and the fans want content. And a great example of a viral moment is when Paddy Pimblett and Ilia Topuria nearly fought the hotel. I know there are going to be some people saying, martial arts is about respect. I'm sorry, bro. This isn't 1956 where martial arts was about sitting on top of a mountain in your pajamas and doing kung fu. It's become a sport now.
Said that, the winner of that fight would get a title shot. So, and obviously the fans... wanted to. My thing with with Topuria is his wife and kid are in the octagon. That's not the fight. It's just.
Okay, Ilia's wife and kid were in the octagon after Ilia won. I'm pretty sure it's more traumatic for Charles Oliveira's wife and kid to watch him get KO'd in the arena than what Ilia Topuria, his wife and kid had to go through. So, shouldn't that mean that we should ban fathers, wives, and kids from going to the events in case their dads get KO'd in front of millions of people?
Yeah.
It was fun to watch.
It shouldn't happen.
It was fun to watch.
Well, that's not really what we do.
So you don't give a shit if it was fun to watch or not. Isn't that the point of entertainment and sport? Isn't it supposed to be fun to watch?
Give a shit if it was fun to watch or not. It's just that.
This is how Dana wants us to look during UFC events.
That shouldn't happen. Plus, he wins a second title in a higher division. It was a bad call by whoever the hell let him in there.
Three things which make a sport grow and maintain its fans is the sport itself being entertaining, the personalities of the athletes, and drama. When two fighters who hate each other are face to face and trash talk each other, that creates drama. And as UFC fans, what do you guys rather want? Do you want the UFC to give us more Nina drama videos, or do you want more fighters who hate each other to face off in the cage and trash talk each other? So the Paddy Pimblett and Ilia Topuria face-off got 2.3 million views in 16 hours, I last checked. And I think the video's gone deleted off YouTube in less than 24 hours, already in the top 25 most viewed ESPN MMA YouTube videos in history. Maybe Dana White spoke to ESPN MMA YouTube channel and wanted the video deleted because it was the best promotion the UFC has ever done since Conor McGregor versus Khabib Nurmagomedov, and Dana White does not want the UFC to grow as a sport. So I think if the president of the UFC does not want the UFC to grow as a sport, I think it is time that he should resign as the president of the UFC. And I also believe if MMA grew and Lucas Tracy made all decisions for the UFC, it would become a more successful promotion.
Does he need to win one more fight, or is that who you want? You're going to tell the UFC you want next?
I don't know. Someone from my team told me that Dana was a little bit angry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That he said that.
He said that if he was there, he would not have let that happen.
Yeah, but he wasn't there.